They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, Laker family? It's your boy DTLF back with a breaking news video, man. This is a video we didn't want to make today, but unfortunately, it is here. And as they like to say, when it rains, it pours. No, literally, it's pouring outside here in Southern California. So, breaking news, the Los Angeles Lakers guard Austin Reaves has been diagnosed with a grade 2 left gastrocnemius strain. I hope I said that right. And he will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. Okay, and that's just reevaluated. All right. Now, I went ahead and did my research on this injury. So, Austin Reaves diagnosed with a grade 2 left gastrocnemius strain. Hopefully, I said that right. All right. Which is a modern calf strain. Right. The injury involves a partial tear of the muscle fibers. That sounds really, really painful. Now, this is the type of strain typically causes significant pain, swelling, and limited mobility. All right. It makes it really impossible to play through without risking further damage. But it is not as severe as a full grade 3 tear. Okay. So that's the good news. But that is still, because a grade 3 would probably require surgery. So he was close, but not quite there. For Reaves specifically, the injury occurred during last game, Christmas Day. I feel like we rushed him back too soon. We shouldn't have did that just because it was Christmas Day. And again, he's expected to be reevaluated in about 4 weeks, meaning that he'll miss at least that much time while undergoing rest and rehabilitation. Now, this comes after he had already been dealing with a strain in the same calf earlier, which could complicate the recovery just a tad bit, increasing, re-injury risk. Okay, if not managed carefully. So we gotta have to be really careful with this. In general, NBA players with a grade 2 strain usually make a full recovery and return to play without any long-term issues, provided that they follow a structured rehab program, okay, focusing on rest, strengthening, and gradually return to activity. So the recovery timeline is based on the individual. Obviously, he already had an issue with it, so rehab could be anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks, if we're being honest. It's going to take more than a month. All right, with some taking all the way up to 8 weeks or longer if complications arise. So it's really, really bad news for the Lakers season this year. We've been going through it already, and it's not going to get easier, guys. It's not going to get easier. This is horrible. I want to talk about not just the injury, but what we have to do in order to bounce back, Hopefully, Austin Reaves comes back strong, but it's going to be tough, and we have to find out ways to supplement Austin Reaves' absence, right? Like, this is big time. This dude is averaging tons of minutes. We're talking about he's averaging anywhere between 30 to 35 minutes per game. So redistributing these minutes to younger players like Dalton and some vets like Marcus Smart, other guys will get PT as well. So, that's the good news for them. The bad news is, man, Austin is one of our best players. And we are really different when he's on the court versus when he's off the court. Okay, we're just better. And now we risk running injuries to both Luka and LeBron, who get high usages. And this is something that I've been telling you guys I've been concerned about from JJ Redick doing. Like, I'm not a fan of him playing them 35 plus minutes. But the Lakers are in trouble, man. I'm going to talk about the schedule a little bit and all that. I'll read a couple comments first before we get into it. He said, "We're going to free fall. We need AR. Is JJ losing the locker room too?" There's a lot of things going on, man. Today, we woke up to news about, maybe the Lakers should trade LeBron. Listen, it is impossible to trade LeBron. I don't understand how these news media outlets understand this. He has a no-trade clause. So unless it comes from his mouth that he wants out, which is probably not going to, it is a moot point to talk about. It's a moot point. There's no point. But yeah, I mean, now we lose Reaves, right? And all the Reaves haters are probably celebrating right now, but they're going to see how bad this is. But this is an opportunity for others to step up for sure. We're going to talk about each and every single player that I expect to step up if we want to continue to arise and how the schedule might be in our favor for now. But we're going to talk about all of that. I'll answer a couple more questions. This is a separate strain from the one in December. Yeah, it's a separate one, but isn't it in the same spot, Dr. J? From my understanding, it's in the same spot, which could complicate it a little bit longer. It might be more than 4 weeks. What do you think? I think it's in a similar spot based on what I read. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Let's see. Rich Paul's comments and JJ's stubbornness has ruined this team. All of that, and we're falling apart at the worst time, which is when we're supposed to be gearing up and ramping up for the second part of the season, right? First part was pretty good. We're still 9 games over 500, but we're trending down for the first time this season. We've lost 3 in a row. And now we've lost one of our primary ball handlers / 3-level scorers. And again, the haters are going to be happy, but they're going to find out just how much we miss this kid. Because I could definitely see his free fall if JJ doesn't do the right thing. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. This is where JJ is going to have to step up. Oh, yeah, big time. He got to utilize his rotations to the best of his ability. That means everybody should get a chance to shine, man. I'm talking about every guard on this team is going to get a little bit more minutes. Heck, we might even see some Bronny. But I think Dalton is the biggest beneficiary out of this. The 24-year-old guard, could get some serious minutes off the bench with the absence of Austin Reaves. Obviously, I would start Marcus Smart in this place for now. And I think Nick Smith Jr. is another one that might get some PT, maybe even some Adu Thero. But again, I think JJ has to put away his stubbornness and he has to give these guys an opportunity. They're not going to grow without the opportunity to grow. They need an opportunity, right? My guy CJ, good to see you, bro. He said, hey, bro, devastated by the news. Everything is going downhill, but next man up mentality. But it's been a cold December for us. Yeah, things have not panned out so far. And this injury is gonna also hamper things. But sometimes I'm not saying this is gonna be the case. Obviously, it's a grade 2 strain. I'm not saying this is gonna be the case, but sometimes these injuries bring people together because the next man has to step up, right? Sometimes. Now, there is a lot of rumors about trades going on right now. The Miami Heat apparently weren't moved by any of the Lakers' offers for Andrew Wiggins, according to Brett Siegel, right? So there is that. The Lakers been inquiring, like I told you guys. My source has been telling me we've been very, very active, and unfortunately, that hasn't been something. But Keon Ellis has recently been linked to the Lakers as a potential trade target. Shout out to my guy AJ for the link. Yeah, Keon Ellis might be a name we could look into right now. That could help us as a ball handling guard, a point of attack defender, and somebody who could be interesting for sure. I mean, if there was ever a time to make a trade, it would be now. Now, also hearing that the Lakers held a conversation with the Pelicans about Herb Jones' availability, according to Brett Siegel. So again, the Jones asking price remains very high, though. And he appears to be out of the Lakers' price range in terms of assets. So they must want 2 first-round picks, which we do not have to trade right now in this very moment. So again, we're going to hear the trade rumors spike up even more with the absence of Reaves. Maybe the Lakers make some sort of a gap trade, something to kind of gap the bridge there. And again, there's so many things that can happen. But I think right away, it's a different muscle. Okay. Well, it trickles. You're the doctor. But it does trickle from one thing to the next. This is going to put a lot of pressure on LeBron and Luka. Luka is a primary ball handler. The handles, and he's going to have to increase the ball handling duties now without the secondary shot creator. LeBron, again, his versatility. He can sometimes slide into the guard position if we need to ramp up some facilitation. But again, the guys that I think benefit the most from this injury as far as minutes go is Dalton Connect. For sure, Dalton Connect, bro. This is probably your final opportunity to make a dent before you get shipped out for pennies to a dollar. And I think Nick Smith Jr., maybe somewhat Adu Thero, but I think Nick Smith Jr. and Dalton right away are the guys that have to step up and they're gonna get opportunities. Now, what do you do with these opportunities, man? LeBron, Rui, Luka can't be on the floor at the same time. The defense is terrible. They got to figure that out. And I think inserting Vando here would be huge. Excuse me. Hey, Sharon, how you doing? Good to see you. Herb Jones is nice. He would be nice, but we've been inquiring, and I think the Pelicans right now, maybe as we get closer to the deadline, they lower their asking price depending on how bad they're doing and if they want to go fully in on the tank. But for right now, it seems like Herb Jones is a little bit out of our reach, right? So that's unfortunate. My guy said it has 2 bellies, the medial and the lateral head. He said he might has injured one first and then the other. You also have the soleus muscle, which is also in the calf. Okay, thank you for educating us, Doc. We appreciate that. Again, man, It's a very unfortunate injury, but it's not something that it was hard to foresee. I told you guys I was really concerned about the way that JJ was playing these guys um, heavy minutes. Now he might be out for a month minimal, maybe even more. And to me, that's just one of the biggest problems. Is like, man, we were already struggling. We missed having him, especially in the second part of the game last night, and we completely got blown out. We gonna miss his shot creation. The haters don't understand just how good he is to this team. He's definitely one of the big three, but it's gotten to that point, man, where you just no excuses, man. We figured out ways to win when Luka was out, when LeBron was out. Now we got to figure out ways to win now that Austin is out, and I think there is a way to win. And it's up to JJ to figure out. The best coaches find ways to win without your main player. So everybody else has to step up. LeBron, you wanted more shots? There you have it. Luka, you wanted more shots and more ball handling? There you have it. All right. That way nobody complains, and we go from there. And we got a super chat. Appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much, super chat. Detailer will be so proud. Oh, my God, it's too hot. Oh.
My guy, or actually, it might be a girl. Haley Ford, my bad. It might be a girl. Bad news on Reaves. I think they should trade him to plug one of the holes. He's redundant on this team. And if they don't trade Braun, then Rui's trade shouldn't be out of the question either. Well, interesting three-part statement here. So first, you can't really trade a player while he's hurt. His value is at all-time low. So I would say no to trading Austin right now. If you want to trade him, it has to be when his value is at its highest point, right? And so I would say no to that. Now, they can't trade LeBron. You say if they don't trade LeBron, they can't trade LeBron, unfortunately. Why? Because he has a no-trade clause. So again, it would have to come from him. But Rui, on the other hand, just had a bagel last night in one of the biggest games. And the Lakers have been inquiring about, guys like I just mentioned him earlier. Who is from the Miami Heat? Who was that? Andrew Wiggins. Sorry, Andrew Wiggins. We've been inquiring about players like that. You cannot acquire a player like that without giving up contracts like Gabe Vincent and or Rui. So maybe they are dangling him in trade talks. Thank you so much for the super chat. But I think your best bet would be Rui from those three. And then Austin, because he doesn't have a no-trade clause, and then LeBron. But LeBron is the least likely to ever get dealt. And I don't think he will. I think he's too prideful to ever allow himself to be traded in his career, because this would imply that you're no longer good enough for a team. And I think his ego would flare up too much for him to waive that no-trade clause. So I don't think LeBron gets traded at all. Prime opportunity for Gabe, man, don't even mention it, bro. That would be insanely horrendous. If we have to see more of Gabe Vincent, man, I'm gonna be really sad. We cannot see more of Gabe Vincent at all. Hey, we got a major super chat. Let's go.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Allie. Oh my goodness, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for the birthday wish and the very generous super chat. You're the best. Appreciate you. Much love to you. Man, you guys have been so generous, man, this birthday. And by the way, talking about generosity, man, shout out to Striker who sent me, just received the mail. I will be opening that. She tried to send it, 3 weeks before Christmas, and unfortunately they butchered it at the post office. But it's here, and we're going to have a second Christmas. Me and my girl will be opening it on Sunday for pregame. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Appreciate you guys so much for all the love. Allie, you are the best. Thank you for the love. Let's see here. We're going to read Diehard said, am I the only one who doesn't want Rob Pelinka after this season? No, not at all, Diehard. There's been so many fire Rob Pelinka chants for years, it seems like. It feels like for years. And that's just the thing, is that we all might get our wish, because I do believe that Mark Walters coming in with a brand spanking new agenda. And, when he comes through, he's going to for sure, I think, clean house if things don't get in order, right? And I think some of these things are going to be to blame to Rob Pelinka for. Yes, I know he traded for Luka and a lot of things were forgiven, but we still need to be a contender every year, especially when you have the talent levels of like a LeBron James, and you had AD all these years, one championship. You kind of feel like we came up short under Rob Pelinka. Also, now you got Luca, LeBron, and you got the newly found All Star in Austin Reaves, who's an All Star this season, and hopefully comes back before All Star break to claim that All Star recompensation right there, right? Because he's gonna deserve it. But yeah, I just, as far as Rob Pelinka goes, it's gonna be interesting to see how Mark Walter operates moving forward. Also, remember, this is the first trade deadline we have on the new ownership. Let's see how aggressive they are, or are they gonna take the wait and see approach, right? If they're gonna wait and see to see what happens this summer with Giannis, et cetera, et cetera. So again, I'm just again very thankful for the super chats and all the love, guys. But I'm very excited to see what the Lakers do this trade deadline for sure. My boy Jonathan, he said AR injury gotta be due to overuse or fatigue. Those are the main causes for calf tears and coming back too early. So the supporting muscles still weak. Yeah, you know what? He wasn't moving too well yesterday, although in the beginning he kind of got hot. But I'll tell you, man, I'm really concerned for AR. And I just don't like the fact that we ran him into the ground. Remember earlier this season, I said, man, he's been playing 35 to 40 minutes a night. That can come back to bite us. And so far it has, man. Injuries have plagued his superstar studded season. He looked like a superstar early on. Now his numbers are starting to plummet because he keeps getting injured. But the moral of the story here is, JJ, you got to stop being stubborn. You got to give some trust to some of these other players, and you got to make sure that, we spread the love, because what's going to happen is if you don't trust guys, this happens. Injuries happen, man. Overusage, like my guy Dr. J said, and it is a travesty, man, because we started off really good this season. Now, again, we're only 9 games over 500. I know you're saying, damn, 9 games is good. But in the West, it's going to be tough. We're going to talk a little bit about the schedule and all that good stuff. My guy Ortega, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate your blessings, man. Blessings. Thank you guys all for the love, man. You guys are awesome. Seriously, you guys make me so happy. My guy said Wiggins would be a nice wing. He would, but again, right now, if we make a trade, it's going to come from a place of desperation because we desperately need it now due to the injury plus the downward spiral. Teams might want to take advantage and get an extra asset out of us. Not that we have too many to give up in the first place. So, again, this is the worst news we could have had as far as after the blowout we had. And, oh, man, it sucks. It sucks for Austin, who was having a very good season. And now he's going to have to rehabilitate and get back. And hopefully he's back in tip-top form when he comes back. But we're going to miss him. Sharon says, we're playing terrible, but that won't last. We need an elite trade. The same thing we've been saying for years. It does feel like that, Sharon. It feels like every year we say, and because we need a trade. And that just tells me one of multiple things, man. The leadership quality is a little on the poor side, okay? We need better leadership, both from Luca, LeBron, and now Austin. Those are our 3 leaders. So we need better leadership because, man, we get all these players. We get Ayton. We got all these players in the offseason, and we always feel like we need another player. Now, some of that is on Rob Pelinka because we're still lacking wings. Like, we lost a tremendous wing in DFS, unfortunately, and we try to replenish it with Jake LaRavia, who's been solid early on, but he's kind of fell apart a little bit as of late. So, you hate to see that. Why does it always seem like we find ourselves in these desperate positions every year? I think it's leadership, man, both from the GM position and from the player's position. Because if you have an elite leader who still cares, who still wants to play on Christmas, still gives a damn, they show up and they hold everybody accountable. Neither Luca nor LeBron did that last night, nor Austin, because he was hurt, but they didn't do it. And so, yes, Alicia, for sure. I knew it was you. I recognize you for sure. She said, this is Alicia Dan. I usually communicate with you on X. I appreciate your channel and content. Appreciate the love, Alicia. Much love to you. Hopefully you and your family have a very blessed and happy holiday. And I thank you so much for the birthday wish in the super chat. Always appreciate it. And I knew exactly who you were, but I just I mentioned I said your name right here because I'm just going fast. Allie. Well, what your at is. But yes, Alicia, for sure. I never forget. Yes, make sure you guys follow on Primetime for watch parties. Now, let's get into the schedule that's coming up because I think that's very important we break down and just how poorly this trade came at the wrong time. Katrina, thank you so much, Katrina. Appreciate you, my friend, for the super chat. Guys, we play the Kings on Sunday, okay? And then we're going to round it out to finish the year on December 30 versus the Detroit Pistons. That's going to be a really tough game. But the Kings could catch us slipping the way that the Lakers are bleeding right now. The Lakers are bleeding bad right now. They are bleeding bad, all right? Basically, we're food for a shark in the water, and even the Sacramento Kings are very dangerous to us right now. We cannot look at the schedule and say, oh, this is going to be a walk in the park. Kings stink. No, because they got some hoopers over there, and they got some players that hate the Lakers, including Westbrook, who are going to want to stick it to us. So Sunday's game is my primary concern, followed by the Pistons game. We got the Pistons on December 30, which is the last game of the year for us. And we start the new year against the Grizzlies twice. First on January the 2nd, then January 4th. Followed by the Pelicans on January 6th, and then we round it out with the Spurs on January 7th. But we still got more games because after the Spurs, we got the Bucks who are going to be tough. We beat them earlier in the year. They're going to be tough on January 9th. Then the Kings again on the 12th. The Hawks on the 13th. That's going to be a back-to-back right there, Kings and Hawks. Then the Hornets on the 15th, and followed by the Blazers on the 17th, right? So, again, to me, the schedule is somewhat favorable right now as we speak because even though these are really, really tough teams and tough games, on paper, technically, we are better than those teams. Some of those, not the Pistons. Everybody but the Pistons on that list I just mentioned. So out of the next 8 or 9 games, we should be able to win at least 7 of those. But again, in order to do that, we're going to have to be on the same page. The Lakers just have not been that. They have not been on the same page, and that's my biggest concern. And now with this injury, we risk falling even further away. Alicia says, I'm beginning to think JJ lost the locker room. A lot of grown men don't like to get called out, even though it's needed at times. You know what? We're going to start hearing murmurs about that because we heard what JJ just said in the press conference last night after that horrific Christmas Day showing. And yeah, that's the type of stuff that rubs superstars the wrong way. I'm talking Luka and LeBron. Those are the guys that might take it the wrong way. But if you're a role player on this team, you got no say in it. All you got to do is just listen to your leadership and step up. And I think it's Luka and LeBron's job to rally the troops right now and say, look, guys, we lost 3 games in a row. Let's get this show back on the road. Let's play together again. Let's stop playing for contracts and start playing for wins. And I think, that's the way that we're going to get back on track. But without leadership doing that and having like a players only meeting or anything like that, I'm a little concerned. I am a little concerned for sure. Who wouldn't be? The Lakers are downward spiraling, plus an injury added to that. We got another phenomenal super chat.
Santa, what's Christmas really about?
Super chats!
Presents, I suppose.
I like using those voiceovers, but I can only use them once a year. So I'm gonna milk it until the new year. Flip Sonic, appreciate the super chat, bro. He said, easy fix, trade Luka for Giannis. I'm not sure I want to do that, but okay, I'm listening. He said, we got a top tier 2-way player. We can keep Reaves. All right. So Luka is 26 going on 27. Giannis is 31, I believe, right? So Giannis, his game is definitely based off of athleticism, while Luka's is more based off of skill. Okay, so I'm going to stick with Luka because he's got more years left in the tank, and I think he'll have more longevity past his early 30s than Giannis, because Giannis, kind of similar to Westbrook, just in a bigger body where he relies so much on athleticism. We've all seen when the athleticism goes away and the skill doesn't catch up, you start struggling. So I'm going to pass on that trade. It is an intriguing offer. You're the first one to offer it that I've heard. I haven't heard nobody put this out, so I'll give you credit for that. So, it is interesting, and I commend you guys on going out and thinking outside the box. So I wouldn't trade Luka. People like to turn on Luka when he goes on a slump, but let's not forget he's been killing this year. He's still the league leading scorer right now. There's not many players I would want for Luka in this NBA, if I'm being honest. Why not just build around him? LeBron's probably either going to retire or leave to another team after the season, most likely. Doesn't seem like him and the Lakers are seeing eye to eye. The body language is crazy. I don't know if you guys paid attention. He walked out, didn't shake nobody's hand during a Christmas Day game, right? And he has a relationship with KD and all these guys. So he was not happy, and he's showing his displeasure, which means most likely he's headed for a Lakers exit. And so we're going to be able to pivot away from that after this season and build around Luka. That's the right thing for me, that I believe. I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment. I understand we're losing right now. Luka hasn't really played well the last couple of games and all that. But I'm not a prisoner of the moment. I'm not going to say Luka needs to be traded because he lacks defense or he lacks that. There's a lot more positive that he doesn't lack than what he does. All you got to do is put the right pieces around him in order. We've seen him go to the finals already. We know he's a championship caliber player. You just have to have the right pieces. Think about this. He went to the finals with Kyrie, who's a non-defender, a rookie center in Derek Lively, and a couple of veterans like PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford, right? So it doesn't take much to build around Luka. You just kind of have to put some athletic wings and defenders around him. And right now, the athletic wings and defenders are on the bench. We're talking Vando, we're talking a dude Theoro, whether it's because one is underexperienced or the other one can't shoot, or they both can't shoot, whatever the reason is, right? So even though I commend you for thinking outside the box, I reject that trade offer for that reason that I told you. Giannis 31, his game is primarily built around athleticism, while Luka is a skill-based player, which kind of bodes well for him for the rest of his career, right? Even when he's like 34, 35, he'll still be very impactful because as his athleticism and whatever speed he has right now starts to dissipate, his skill continues to be there and maybe even grow from here to then. So, yeah, man, I actually think Luka will be an MVP in this league, if not this year, real soon. And we need to win in order for him to be in the race. But let's not panic right now, guys, and make a crazy decision based off of injuries and downward spiral. I agree with you, Dan. JJ saying a player don't know what a flood is was wild to the media. I think what he's trying to say, you know what it is? Alicia, I think what he's trying to say is that they don't care, and it bothers him. It bothered me for sure. We're in a different era, Let's see what happens and how they respond. I'm very curious, but yeah, JJ looked like he was going to do one of two things. Either he's going to start benching everybody and holding people accountable, or he's going to quit the job. I mean, I don't know. If he does lose the locker room, though, I mean, that'll be it for him. You can't lose the locker room. I don't think he will, though. I think Luka likes him. I think Austin likes him. I think LeBron, for the most part, likes him. But right now, they're just not happy with each other, That's just how I feel. Appreciate you, Kimmy Goat. Yes, make sure you guys hit that like button. Appreciate you guys for all the generous super chats and the likes. Happy holidays to everybody, man. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. And again, when it rains, it pours. But it's unfortunate, man. We are injured now, and that leads to another issue, a completely different issue. Second to none. My guy said, Dan, do a hypothetical LeBron James trade to the Cavs right quick. Who do we get back? Well, hypothetically, let's just say LeBron requested a trade, right? Let me pull up your comment. Hypothetically, let's say LeBron requested a trade and he wanted to go to a team like the Cavs, because I think wherever LeBron goes, he's going to be the one who's in the driver's seat. So in order for the Cavs to be championship contenders right away, they have to keep Evan Mobley. They have to keep Donovan Mitchell, right? And I would keep Darius Garland if I was them, but we'll see. The Lakers, in order for us to stay in contention, we would have to add somebody like Jarrett Allen. Okay, maybe even an athletic defensive wing like RJ. Somebody like that. Maybe a package like that will work, with no picks being exchanged due to LeBron's age. You do not need picks in return. But maybe Jarrett Allen and what's the wing's name? I forget the wing's name. Maybe somebody like that might work. But again, I wouldn't even mention a LeBron trade technically unless he requested a trade, which he has not done. And so yeah, Hunter. Yeah, DeAndre Hunter. Thank you. I said RJ, right? I meant DeAndre Hunter. Okay, DeAndre Hunter and Jarrett Allen for LeBron James. That seems very plausible, very probable if he did request a trade there. They still keep Donovan. They keep both of their guards intact. They still have an elite big man in Evan Mobley, and then maybe they can go get another big man in free agency. I heard James Wiseman just got cut. So it might work out. But if I'm the Cavs, do you really want LeBron? Yes, you do, because you're always missing that type of player. Mitchell hasn't been able to lead that team to the promised land. I remember when they traded for Donovan Mitchell, they thought they were going to be championship favorites. They have not gotten out of the second round. So, and that's just off the top. I would have to fire up the trade machine. I haven't looked at the rules or none of that, but that was just to answer your question right there, my guy. Passionate believer. Thank you, man. Happy Blessings to you and yours as well, man, and happy holidays, man. Hopefully everybody is doing good. It's pouring out here in Cali, man. Like I said, when it rains, it pours. Literally, right now it's pouring. So everybody stay dry and safe out there. You know, those of us that got to run errands and go drive, a lot of floods in my area. So just stay safe, guys. Stay safe. My guys say Cavs can't take or send multiple contracts hard capped. There you go. So that in itself would complicate it right there. Thank you for pointing that out, bro. Again, I didn't fire up the trade machine. This is just off the top. But technically, if there was a trade to be had, it would be really complicated. Look, man, there's certain players in the league that you just don't trade. And I don't think LeBron wants to add that to his legacy. He already has NBA mercenary superstar. I don't think he wants to add traded player to his story, right? Because then people are going to say, all the haters are going to say, hey, when the going gets rough, LeBron gets going. Right now it's getting rough. So I don't think LeBron wants to add that to his repertoire, And also his family loves it here, man, in California. Beautiful weather, wonderful people, and just a beautiful place to live. One of the best cities in the world. So why would he want to uproot them towards the end of his career? If he does end up leaving as a free agent to Cleveland, I think he will be there, be flying back and forth. He'll leave his family here. So I just don't see it. But we'll see. Could be wrong. And maybe LeBron does request a trade, and maybe we have a lot of content to talk about if that does happen. I will go live instantly. That would break the internet. Okay. That would be insane if that ever happened. Again, certain players you just don't trade. Kobe was one of them. That's why even when he requested a trade, we didn't trade him. Michael Jordan's another one, and LeBron's the other one. Those are, I think, to me, those are the three untradables all time. As much as some people want him traded, I just don't see it happen. Sharon says, if LeBron asks to be traded, the NBA will make it happen. Well, for sure. If he asks to be traded, Sharon, the Lakers have to make it happen. They have to respect his wishes. I think actually the Lakers would be happy because they probably want to get out of that under that contract. And, they probably want to get some value in return if they can. But either way, I think this is the last year for LeBron and the Lakers. The bottom lane was just been off. You guys seen all the reports that happened in the offseason. You're hearing people like Kendrick Perkins and all these mainstream medias picking up on it and saying LeBron should ask out. It's one of them things. One of them things. Greg, my friend, how you doing? Good to see you. Happy holidays. Pretty much just broke everything down. I'll just take a couple of questions or comments from here on out. And I gave you guys my thoughts on this Austin Reaves injury and what I feel will happen and should happen. And it'll be interesting to see what the Lakers actually do as far as trades go, if they want to plug in any short sort of, Oh, TW money. Don't say that, bro. LeBron trade for Kawhi? Nah, I'll pass. Kawhi is always hurt. Always hurt. Sharon says LeBron always has leverage. Y'all, he's the most valuable player to the NBA. Well, I think at one point that was true, Sharon. I'm not sure if that's true anymore. I think the new most valuable player to the NBA might be Wemby. I think we've seen that the torch has been handed. Like LeBron doesn't get the same calls he once did, right? LeBron does not get the same calls that he once did, unfortunately. And so I think the torch is done for. I think it's done for. Maxie, we did phone calls yesterday, my guy. So yeah, we won't be turning up the phone lines. This was a breaking news video, so just wanted to fill you guys in there. And just read a couple comments, connect with the community. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's see. Isaiah Porter says, I think LeBron James will stay in LA and we should trade Rui and Gabe for Giannis to the Bucks. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That trade will not happen. Any trade involving Giannis would, at the bare minimum, have to be including Austin Reaves. And that's if we get lucky and Giannis requests a trade here. We got to be realistic. And even then, that is going to be an underwhelming package for them due to the magnitude and caliber of Giannis. We're talking about an MVP caliber player, right? So they're going to want picks, which we only have one to trade right now till the summer. They're going to want AR. They're going to want Dalton, maybe. Maybe they don't. Maybe they want Adu Thiero. They're going to want a lot of value. And so, like somebody mentioned earlier, they might want Luka, but the Lakers should say no to that one. Yeah, this is, you know what? Yeah, Wemby's the new guy. I just don't see this being LeBron's league anymore. Unfortunately, I don't see him get the same calls he once did. I don't see the media hype him up like they once did. I don't see it. I think this is Wemby's league now. They try to hand over the torch to Shea, but Shea's just not. I think, Shea's more fundamentally sound. Like he draws fouls. People don't like that. It's not very appealing to the average fan. The diehard fan, we can appreciate a Shea, right? But the average fan, I don't think really likes to watch Shea play. He's not going to posterize anybody or cross somebody up. He will once in a while, but very few far in between. Wemby. Ooh, man, when Wemby walks out onto the court, man, all eyes are on Wemby. Okay. And the eyes of Tupac, all eyes on me. Every time he walks out there on the court, everybody and their mama turns their eyes and they see that 8-footer out there standing like a statue, all right, before he gets built, and how dominant he is. I mean, he does things we never, ever, ever, ever seen a player do at his size. So he's spectacular, and I think he's that guy. I think he's the face. I wanted it to be Luka really bad, but the way I hear the media talk about Luka, I heard Skip Bayless call him overrated today. Like, he gets too much hate. I don't know if it's because he's a Laker now or what, but they don't want to make Luka the face. Shea, like I already mentioned, doesn't have an appealing game. I don't know why they glaze Jokic, since he also doesn't have a very appealing game, unless you're a diehard basketball fan. But all in all, Wemby's the guy for sure. Oh, you're saying money talks? No, LeBron's still the top dog as far as his legacy goes. As far as a GOAT legacy, Curry doesn't even touch him with a 10-foot pole. So we're comparing Curry to LeBron. It's night and day. But yeah, I think there's a new face in the league, Sharon, for sure. You worried about the injuries? Can he be Iron Man? Hopefully, we're gonna pray for Wemby, man, because he's good for the NBA. He's different. Do you think the Lakers will go far without Austin Reaves in the playoffs? No, I think we need everybody, Isaiah Porter. As a matter of fact, I think we need a trade or two in order to go far, just due to the fact that we're lacking some things for sure. We said it before the season started, but hopefully Austin will be back in about a month and a half or so, and they don't rush him back, and he comes back healthy. All right, that's the most important thing, guys. As far as how far we can go in the playoffs, the last 3 years they have disappointed me. Heck, actually, since 2020, they have disappointed me. Last 4 years or so. So let's hope that we can overachieve this year, because Laker fans deserve better, man. We have been very excited for this team, and hopefully we'll continue, man. We'll continue. Spurs are saving the NBA. I mean, they're easy to root for, man. Wemby is just special like that. They got these shifty, speedy, very athletic, exciting guards. Shout out to Castle. Shout out to all these young guards, De'Aaron Fox, all these guys putting in work, man. Harper. And then they got defensive wings. So I said it after they beat the Thunder the first time. They're the new young team in the NBA. And I still believe that. They're the most dangerous team. They don't have a ceiling yet. They still haven't peaked. We've seen what the Thunder ceiling could be, how good they could be. I think the Thunder have peaked. And I think in order to beat them, somebody just has to be fired on all cylinders like the Spurs did. But think about this. The Thunder had lost only 2 games in their first 30 to the rest of the NBA. They lost 3 to the San Antonio Spurs, all 3 of them that they played. So I think the Spurs have their number. I would love to see that as a first or second round matchup. That would be really exciting, right? But anyways, guys, that is going to wrap it up here for my video, guys. I appreciate the support. Alicia, thank you so much for the 50-piece. Hey, they didn't let me get off without another 50-piece, man. Flip Sonic, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Go ahead and play this. Let's see. Don't play this.
Oh my God! Wow!
One's really fire. I gotta play that one and this one. This one's for all you guys who super chat. Appreciate you guys, man, for all the belated birthday wishes.
Look at the stars. All the people that have super chatted have contributed to the success of this channel.
Really?
Yes. And what's best, we will reach the moon one day if they continue such contributions. Your super chats are always appreciated. Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys, man. Just like Mufasa said, your super chats are always appreciated, man. From the bottom of my heart, appreciate it, man. Again, all the belated birthday wishes. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful holidays. Again, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, bringing you guys this bad news here, but love you guys, man. And I'll see you guys on the next one. If anything breaks, you know where to find me. Keep it locked right here. All things Lakers, basketball, and so much more, all right? And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.